What's going on, people? You ever wondered why you couldn't start your entrepreneur journey? Well, I spent 8 years just trying to get involved in entrepreneurship and real estate. And it's like I never could break through. I didn't quite understand what it took to get there. I didn't quite understand the steps or where I needed to be to even get started in real estate entrepreneurship. And today we're going to break down the mindset, the personal development that it takes to even take that step into the field of entrepreneurship or real estate and be successful, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm telling you guys, I spent 8 years trying to get started in real estate, and this was the thing that put me over the top and really got me started. It wasn't that I understood more about real estate. It wasn't that, this real estate thing was holding me back or that real estate thing was holding me back. It really was personal development, personal growth, mindset. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today. So bring all your questions. I feel like those 8 years of just trying was like me roaming in the wilderness, right? And like God just telling me to go this way, go that way, and I'm just roaming out in the wilderness. But we'll talk about what changed, like things that I had to do to put myself in a better space. So, but man, what's going on, Cordero? Man, thank God it's Monday, right?
I mean, thank God for every day, but Mondays for sure, getting back to it. We got some traction, we got some motion going today. You know what I mean? We got this was a cool little Monday, man. We got some motion going on. A couple people responding. It's one thing when the sellers is calling you. When the sellers
Yeah.
is calling you, hey, you ready to you still ready to go, or you still want to do this, you still want to do that. I'm like, I was about to call you, actually the same thing,
Yeah.
honestly. Um, but dude, I'm telling you, this is why we would even. This is what I tell people. I was talking to, actually, my guy Jay had reached out to me earlier on IG, and we talked. We chopped it up for a second, and this was something big, and I was letting them know, man. I think this is why me and Byron be on the same page a lot, because it's not just about the fundamentals of do this, say this when you're on the phone, follow this script, call this number, pull this list. It's the mindset behind it. And I was letting him know, dude's just like, yeah, he called me, asked me more of a fundamental, practical, pragmatic question. And I'm like, dude, I can answer that question for you. I can answer that question for you, no problem. Matter of fact, you could Google that question and get the answer most likely. But your mindset, that's something that's like a house or like a tree. When I talk about, take time, make sure you lay the foundation first. You also got to lay the foundation of all your works in the entrepreneurial space is going to be your mindset. And you can always build on your mindset. You're always growing it, but you can't build on any level like like for instance, Byron, he has a wholesale business, a real estate investing business. He flips real estate, and then he also has a trucking business. That's not because he just like he just got the manual. Okay, here's the manual for trucking, and then here's a manual for. It's his mindset. You know what I mean? It's like he could probably do that with just about anything. A construction company, with a restaurant, a franchise, or something like that. It's the same principles, because he understands on a mental level. They're like you got to have mindset, and you got to have heart to do this. Like you got to have the heart to go in it and stay committed and see things through. And he just has that. And so you got to understand, it's like the mindset, like Byron says, is like it's the axe. It's that story about sharpening the axe. I might make that the quote of the day. I might need to get the exact quote, but uh, let me know if you've heard this one before, but the concept essentially is if you give a man 3 hours to cut down a tree, he might take the first 2 hours sharpening his axe, is what he'll do. Or maybe it's like the first 2 hours and 30 minutes sharpening his axe or something to that effect. It's just like, it's so important that you lay that groundwork before you take action. And when you start taking action, as long as you've done the right things ahead of time, then it makes the actual work itself a lot more easy. I'm not going to say easy, but it makes it a lot more manageable. And the groundwork, the sharpening the axe, is sharpening your mind in this case, and it's making sure you got the right mindset about doing anything, about moving to the next level. And so, mindset is major. If you don't have it, there's nothing that we can teach you. It's not reverse wholesaling or traditional wholesaling. It's not a list you can pull. It's not it's not which dialer should I use. It's not which text messaging platform should I use. If you ain't got the right mindset, you're gonna run into obstacles. You're gonna run into just so much resistance that's stopping you. And so that makes me wonder, Byron, what are some things that maybe you've ran into, or maybe some consistent things that you know most people in this business or any business run into, that when you have the right mindset, your mindset gets you through that obstacle or over that hurdle?
Shoot, I think the first thing is, man, it's like, I remember listening like Max Maxwell, or even like, listening to people like us, like we jump on here. Yeah, we doing business, we doing deals. It's like, man, talk about the deals, man. Talk about how you close. Talk about, that's why I wanted to hear from Max Maxwell. That's why I wanted to hear from these dudes. And it was like, they talking about mindset. They talking about changing your mind. I'm like, dude, I need to know how to fill out the paper. I need to know how to, put somebody in the contract. I need to know what to say to a seller. I need to know what to say. Like, that's the stuff I need to know. But in reality, I really didn't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I got my first deal, I didn't know how to write the contract. That did not matter. What mattered was that I took my butt to Papa John's and I got more money so I can invest in my wholesale business.
Yeah.
And that took the mentals of saying, oh, why can't I do this? Money standing in the way. Okay, if a couple $100 standing in my way, how do I go get that? You know what I'm saying? Whatever stands in the way becomes the way. Whatever impede action is the path to action. It's like you got to go straight into your obstacle, right? And it was the mind shift to go do that, right? And it's like, how many people really want to go work at Papa John's? Who's signing up? You know what I'm saying? Who's signing up? Who's signing up to deliver them pieces? Like, who's signing up? Who want to go do that now?
When
your
desire is on, I want to be doing 100K months wholesaling, but the first step is to go get a job at Papa John's. That'll feel like I'm going the wrong direction. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because to that point, one of the biggest things I was going to say when it comes to hurdles that you jump over, I think one of the most important mindset food for thought that you can digest, if you can get this in your mindset, Byron just said it, if you can get this, then that's going to unlock a lot of stuff for you. But the obstacle becomes the way. The obstacle is the way. It's not the reason why you can't do it. It's what you need to do. You see what I'm saying? There's a great book. I think what's a book called? The Obstacle is the Way.
Yep. Yeah.
And that book really takes time. It gives you plenty of examples of how throughout all of history, it really talks about, again, the unreasonable man throughout all of history. The reason why we're here, the reason why me and Byron not still slaves, in the field or whatever, the reason why we not still where we was X amount of years ago, we not still in the dark or using candles for light, is because a bunch of unreasonable men and women made the progress forward, and they didn't say, well, I mean, we can't get our freedom because we're not free.
Yeah.
We can't have light because we don't got it. It's like, no, that's why we need to get it. They changed their mindset from I don't have it, that's why I can't do it, to I don't have it, that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
That's what I need to get. That's one major, if I had to say a major point, the obstacle is the way. The obstacle is the way. And I know you embraced that heavily when you were delivering pizzas, man. And you've always been a pretty humble dude. Did there ever come a time during that process where you was like, man, it felt like you were swallowing your pride or your ego was taking a hit, or you were just so, I don't care, or I'm just gonna go about it? How did you feel in that moment?
Yeah, that's one thing I even struggle with is like having a true ego. Like I think I need more of an ego. It's like, it's like, but by Ryan Holiday also got a book called Ego is the Enemy. So, but it's like, shoot, man. I mean, I ain't have no ego. It was like, shoot, working in Papa John's. It was like, shoot, man, I'm good. I was like showing up, like, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to work. It's like, you know what I'm saying, and man, I never felt like nothing. It's like, I just needed to go do this. Only thing I was doing was counting the money. It's like count the money,
Yeah.
go, refill on the batch dollar. I mean, refill on the batch Texan. Go skip trace some more lists. You know what I'm saying? I was just counting the money. I was like, dang, okay. On Thursday, I'm gonna be able to, put this much back on there to text more people. Okay, on this day, I'm gonna be able to skip trace this. On this day, I'm gonna be able to pay for this. So that's all I was thinking about. I was just thinking about hitting that. Take a look, give me a couple of pieces half off, bring them to the house, save on how much food I need to buy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was in that mode, man. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm just grinding. I ain't worried about nothing because it's like, shoot, I'm already down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, I ain't nobody, I ain't done nothing. So that was always my thought, man. I think I just been down like that. If I needed to go deliver pieces right now, it ain't nothing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I done been there, man. Like, dude, man, I done been to some places, man. It's like once you have been humbled so far down, it's like, shoot, you down for whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. It's like you got to be down for whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain people, it's like, hey, we tell you, it's like, hey, you say, hey, can you help me? Yeah, I can help you, man. Hey, go do this. Hey, jump on the dollar for 4 hours a day. Oh, dang. I don't know if I could do that. Hey, go get this software. It's gonna cost you like $100. Hey, $100. Hey, man, for $100, I'll teach you everything. I'll give you everything that I got. Dang, 100, man. Do you think
you gonna guarantee?
Like, dude, you have to be down for whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be down to do whatever. And the crazy thing about wholesaling is the bar is low. It's like, if somebody went and told you, hey man, hey, what is it gonna take me to go start a McDonald's? What is it gonna take for me to go start like some other 7-figure company? What is it gonna take for me to go, do some of this other stuff? Like, dude, the bars are so high for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like the bar is so high for all this other stuff where you can go make tons of money. But like a wholesaling, the bar is low. We talking about a couple of $100. We talking about just taking some money. We talking about 4 hours a day. We didn't tell you to do something for 10, 12 hours a day. It's like we telling you get on a dollar for 4 hours, like 4 hours in a whole 24 hours. Really ain't that bad.
Considering that you would easily spend that 4 hours wasting your life playing the video game,
watching a show, watching a movie. I'm just saying, like
Lifetime movies.
Yeah, how much time would you have to put in to build a 7-figure business? Like in relation to other stuff, you really not putting in that much. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the people who become obsessed dominate, because most people ain't even ready to put in 4 hours. let alone be so obsessed that they always on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was to the point where it was like I was always on it. It was like it's 24 hours. I'm thinking about how can I get this? You know what I'm saying? I'm taking action to get it. Even when I was at my job, Papa John's, I was texting people, calling people, going out back. Jokers taking smoke breaks. I'm sitting there calling sellers. You know what I'm saying? It's like I never took a smoke break. I was back there calling sellers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the obsessed people, man, they gonna crush the jokers who just playing around, who just kind of want it. You know what I'm saying? That's in every arena.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what you're obsessed about. It's like you're obsessed about improving your spiritual life. It's like, dude, you gonna be way far ahead of the jokers who just playing around. You know what I'm saying? Who just halfway doing it.
Yeah.
Who ain't picking up the Bible, ain't reading, ain't praying, ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
The joker who obsessed gonna be way further along than that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with fitness. Like you trying to get in shape, the joker who obsessed, who going 2 days, going 2 a-days, is gonna crush the people who sitting there just chilling, who still just eating Papa John's and eating candies and Fruit Loops and sitting around playing the game and watching TV. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, you got to be obsessed, because when you become obsessed, man, it just puts you ahead of other people. And if you ain't obsessed about something, you're going to fall back to being average, below average, whatever you were. If you ain't obsessed about it, you're gonna fall back to wherever you were, which is probably average or below average or terrible. That's
Dude,
just what it is.
I'm telling you, you heard the saying, "You are what you eat."
No
What
doubt.
you eat goes far beyond just what you physically consuming, like what foods you eating, what you listening to on a consistent basis, what you observing with your eyes, what type of energy is all around you. You are what you eat. This is also the same reason why they say birds of a feather flock together. Because if I'm around a bunch of bad energy, poor minded, broke people, victim mentality, always got an attitude, they mad at themselves, that energy that's around me, I'm in that like a pool of water. I'm eating, I'm consuming that. They should change it to you are what you consume. And I'm observing it, I'm spending time in that energy, and that manifests itself in me. That's just how we are. That's just how we are created to be. It's like we consume what's around us and we become that. And so
Yeah.
that was another thing that I was going to say. You know, you want to be, the obstacle is a way. That's one mindset that you want to have in your tool belt. Another mindset major key is to be obsessed. Like he's saying, it's just like whatever, because really the level of obsession is you stopping what's going on. You know, I heard once, if you don't think for yourself, the devil gonna think for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The devil gonna think for you.
If you don't make decisions for yourself, the devil gonna make those decisions for you. And so ultimately, being obsessed with something is when you've said enough with the environment that I'm in, enough with the energy that's just given to me. I'm going to make my mind up and take control of what I consume. If I say I want to wholesale, I'm not just chilling with the homies, the friends that I grew up with, or the family, and they all working their 9 to 5, they all working at the factory, or maybe they're all teachers, maybe they're all lifeguards at the pool. If you want to be a doctor and everybody in your family, they all are construction business owners, but you've said, I want to be a doctor, you're going to have to say, I don't want to listen to you. I'm going to go in this direction intentionally. Being obsessed usually starts with you intentionally breaking away from your environment, the habits that are around you and that consume you, to start on something that you can really become obsessed with and like grow with. But that's the start of being obsessed. But when you go into it, you then let it embrace you. So that means you eat, sleep, breathe this. You thinking about it. When you go to sleep, you own it. When you wake up, you own it. Dude, it's like, I remember when I was just like, I stopped working with my last partners, and I was just, I say this all the time. I was watching these lives, Byron's lives, back when he was back when he was at the old crib in his daughter's bedroom. I'm watching him from the time I wake up, and I just wake up. I was like going to sleep like it was a nap. Like I only went to sleep if I physically had to. Like I would fall asleep with my laptop and I'm setting up my Podio and I just fall asleep. I wake up, my Podio there, I turn the live back on, wake up, pray, wash my eyes, brush my teeth, and now I'm back on it. I'm listening to it and I'm just consuming it. And I just only I didn't want to listen to no rap, no music. I didn't want to watch no football game, no basketball game. I didn't want to play no video games. I didn't want to talk to no girls. I didn't want to talk to my homies. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I'm not nothing. All I'm doing is trying to set up my launch control. All I'm doing is trying to send out these text blasts and respond to these text messages, get these text messages out, send them out, fill out my templates. All I was doing was that. But I had to, you don't actively think about it. And I guess that's what I was asking Byron when I was like, man, did you take a hit to your pride and ego? No, it's not even like, man, I got to go do this. When you're obsessed with the outcome, the end result, you're not even thinking about what you're letting go of to get where you're going to. But if you think about it, it's a natural occurrence. In order to get something new, you have to make room for what room for the new. You have to get rid of the old. You understand? Like you have to let a lot of things go. And I think you either look at it from one side of it and say, oh man, I'm gonna have to let go of this or that or this or that just to get there. But if you just so dead set focused and obsessed with what you're getting, then you're not thinking about what you like. You're just not even worried about it. You just focus on getting there. What I gotta do to get there? What's the next thing I gotta do to get here? It's like if your house was on fire and it was burning, you're not thinking, man, I gotta leave my house behind. You getting out the house. All you thinking about is there's a fire. You're not thinking about, oh, I'm leaving behind this or that.
You think about trying to, man.
You think
right, man. It's like
getting out of the fire.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking about. And that alone. And so you're not thinking about what you're leaving behind. It's just a natural reaction. Get to safety. You're thinking about safety, not what you leave behind. And so I think, and I've talked about this a lot, in order to tap into that obsession mindset, for some people, it's a push. For some people, it's a pull. For some people, it's a push in the sense that, like, I'm so tired of what I got going on, and like my back is against the wall, and I'm just in a tough spot right now. I'm in a dark place. It's a push. I'm being pushed away from this lifestyle, and I gotta go into my next. Like I'm being pushed into it. Like my back is against the wall. I don't have anything. But I realize that's not the same for everybody. Some people, it's a strong pull in the sense I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant for greater. And I should have done this a long time ago. I told myself that I would do this a long time ago. And I feel pulled by my destiny. And so whichever one, the obsession could be driven by like, oh my goodness, the rent is due. I gotta make this work. Or it could be driven by, it's just like, I know Byron talks about it. It's just like, ain't nobody else gonna make this work but me. It ain't about like I can handle the rent per se, but it's about changing my entire lifestyle. It's like I could maintain, my back ain't completely against the wall. I'm not about to be homeless, but I don't want to just maintain no more.
Yeah.
I need to do this. So for some people, it's a push. For some people, it's a pull. But whatever it is that gets you to tap into that obsession mindset, whether, for example, the example would be the fire would be pushing you out the house, right? I need to get out the house. The pull would be if I said, hey, dog, it's $1 million outside with your name on it right now. All you got to do is go out there and get it. And you look at the window, you're like, oh, it's right there. It's like, that's a pull. When you can feel it, you can almost see it, and all you got to do is run out to get it. If I was throwing out dreams and it wasn't real, whatever, you might not even get off your couch. You might not even look out the window. But if I was like, no, dude, I'm serious. And you knew it was out there and you believed it, that's a pull. Like if you knew you was meant for more, you knew you was meant for greater, and you like, man, I could do this. That's a pull. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
whatever it is, you tap into being obsessed.
But in reality, man, sometimes it's like you can tell somebody that, and it's like they ain't even really trying to get up and get after that. You know what I'm saying?
For
I mean,
real.
'cause that don't, I mean, it means something, but then again, it doesn't mean everything to some people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if like you talking about something that pull at you, it's like, man, you tell I tell you, hey, Cordero, man, it's time for you to cash your mama out. Your mama been working this hard. Your mama ain't never lived in the house. It's time to cash out. It's like, dude, that's pulling. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
That's gonna make you say, hey, you gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Like something gotta happen, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it there's some things that pull at you that's like it eats at you. You can't even explain. It just eat at you. When you think about it, it's just like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Is that like that's that thing that makes you say, ooh, when you think, man, I want to give my wife and kids, you know, a better place to stay. Like I want us to, I want to advance my next generation. Like that pulls at me. You know what I'm saying? That pulls at me. Like that's a pull. That's a hard pull. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't do it, like you said, if I don't do it, then it's gonna be left for them to figure out. It's gonna be left to them to fix. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I don't get this right, then you telling me they gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving it for them. Like my parents didn't get it right. I don't get it right. They're gonna look around like, man, we've been clowning this whole time. It's like, it's
Yeah.
like, why didn't nobody take care of this? Why didn't nobody start doing better at this right here? Why didn't nobody, improve our spiritual life? Why didn't nobody improve our finances? Why nobody improve our mental health? Why nobody improve our physical health?
Or
Like we're
worse,
sitting around eating this junk this whole time.
or worse,
People
they don't
dying off this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, or worse, they don't even question it at all, and they just like, oh, that's just the way it's supposed to be. When
Down
you
to the next generation.
exactly,
It's like, that's what I'm saying. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like it's gonna keep going down. All these problems is gonna get handed, handed, handed. Your mama wasn't the first one to deal with these problems. You know what I'm saying? The granny wasn't the first one to deal with these problems. The great granny wasn't the first to deal with these problems. But the question is, it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? What mark are you gonna make? What legacy are you gonna make? What problems are you gonna solve while you here? Like that's the big thing for me. It's like, dude, no, I'm putting an end to this right now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like you gotta like it gotta be that thing that really eats at you. And for different people, it's different. You know what I'm saying? For different people, it's different. It may not even be nothing necessarily focused on your immediate family. Like I was just saying, like I said before, it's like, dude, I want to go give kids confidence. You
yeah,
know, I want to go give kid confidence. Let them know that, hey, look, all this stuff that you're hearing about that will make you think that you ain't gonna be nothing, that you ain't gonna make it, that you ain't this and you ain't that. None of that junk gonna matter. What is gonna matter is all the things that you can actually do right now. Like I've always been a person that been able to show up on time. I've always been a person who worked real hard and was consistent. And all this other stuff. It's like, dude, the stuff that you can do right now that other people are not valuing, like
yeah,
that stuff is gonna be valuable. And all the other stuff that people seeing, they think, oh, this good, hey, this valuable, oh, you this, oh, you that, so you're gonna be successful. None of that stuff gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ooh, that kid right there, he making straight A's on his spelling test. Ain't even gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? It's
oh,
like, oh, this. Yeah, but this Joker, his study habits is garbage. You know what I'm saying? He just making straight A's just because he can, just because he listened, he
he
was able to just regurgitate. But hey, he ain't gonna never study. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
That Joker can't never show up on time. That Joker don't like to work hard. You know, he can't follow no directions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm telling you, man, like that pulls at me. It's like, okay, what pulls at you?
yeah,
Like that thing you become obsessed over. And that thing is gonna be the thing that drives you. You know what I'm saying? That thing that really pulls at you. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's not like $1 million is outside. That's like if I say, hey man, somebody beating your mama up outside. Fly off the couch.
Yeah, that's that thing, man. That's why I say it's got to be more than that, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like that. The people who really get it, they ain't just out here looking for money. You know what I'm saying? The people who really get into it, and they ain't just out here just looking for money.
Dude,
You know.
like I was explaining to my guy Jay earlier, it's gonna be like you saying, it was like lost out in the wilderness. I think there's like a path that a lot of people take. I explained it before. Uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, the valley of despair. I got this from Alex Ramosi. And then he says like informed optimism, and then you hit your goal. But it just shows that the natural, it's like when you get started, there is going to be a period where everything ain't perfect. There is going to be a period, as a matter of fact, there's going to be times where you got every reason to give up and throw in the towel. It's just like you got every reason to give up and throw in the towel, but you got to do it anyway. You got to keep going anyway. It's like the whole world depends on that. It's just like you think it's always easy for anything to just remain constant and consistent. The things that we rely on, it's like I don't know what challenges the electric company goes through to make sure we constantly get electricity. But with the exception of a couple of power outages, they do their job all the time. I don't know what challenges that they're running into, but I rely on it. But I would really hate is if at any point in time they were just like, yeah, well, it's not easy today for us to hit this mark. So we might as well, you know what I'm saying, just going and throwing the towel for the day. And so you rely on people to be consistent, but you got to have a major, greater why.
Yeah, man. Cause like it can't be just money. Cause shoot, man, you like it has to be something deeper than that because it's like this junk, like it's gonna get hard. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get hard. There's gonna be time when you ain't gonna want to do it. You know, it's going to get difficult. And if you ain't got no reason that you're really doing this, if it ain't bigger than that, if it don't mean more to you than that, then you gonna hang it up anyways, right?
Yeah.
That's why most people, like Cordero said all the time, like most entrepreneurs, they fail. It's like most people are going to fail. You are going to fail. Like the successful people fail. The difference
exactly.
The difference is it's something bigger than that. So they're gonna keep it going. It's something bigger than that. So they're gonna bounce back. It's something bigger than that. So they're not gonna fail and just say, oh, I'm gonna give up. I guess I meant to not do this. I guess I meant to just be over here. You know, it has to be bigger than just you. It has to be bigger than just money. You know, it has to be bigger than that.
Dude, absolutely, man. It has to be bigger than that. And again, I think that goes back what you said about like the things that people think matter in the beginning. It ain't really what matter. I think that quote right there actually transcends just school. It transcends a lot of things. I think most people pay attention to the surface level things. Like you might watch a video, a dude got a car, but something like that don't matter. A woman could be very beautiful, but that don't matter as much as her character. Don't matter. All the money in the world, he could buy you anything. That don't matter. He could cheat on you, not be a committed person. You know, I was talking with Laura about this earlier. It's just like you can get an employee that has the resume, the skill set. Oh, they perfect. They got all of the skills. They got all of the skills, but they don't got the commitment.
Yep.
They don't have a reason to stay.
So none of that stuff matters.
So none of that, it won't matter. So you, as an entrepreneur, as a man or a woman, as an adult in life, I think you got to get better at discerning what matters and what doesn't. Because I think that's a hard thing for us to do as humans. Is just like there's so much smoke and bells and whistles that easily draw our attention. And we know that because we market. We know that because we market. And the whole thing about marketing is how do we catch their attention? It's a business. It's literally monetarily profitable to catch people's attention. So that's how you know it's a psychology behind it that us humans fall in the trap all the time. But ultimately, we got to start looking at what really matters.
Yeah, but the thing is, the things that really matters is the personal development, man. It's becoming a better person.
Dude.
It's like, do you show up on time? Can you be loyal? Can you can you be consistent? Like all this stuff is just you being good at being a person. You know what I'm saying? Doing what you say you're gonna do, show up to work on time, working when you say you're gonna work. It's like the integrity, the ability to continue to work through struggles, like all of that stuff is just getting better as a person. You know what I'm saying? It's like your natural gifts, it really don't matter if you ain't got that, personal development, that character. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got good character, that other stuff ain't gonna matter. Like you see it all over the place. Like you can point out anything, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's being in school, whether it's being an athlete, whether it's whatever it is. It's like if you don't have good character, if you ain't got that, none of the other stuff is gonna matter. So that's why we say grow that first, right? Because knowing how to write a contract ain't gonna matter. Knowing what to say to a seller ain't gonna matter if you ain't disciplined enough to get on a dollar 4 hours every single day. It ain't gonna matter what you say to sellers, because you ain't never gonna find somebody that's interested in selling. It's like you get Cordero script down to a T and be the killer at being able to hit Cordero script. But if you ain't disciplined enough to get on the dollar 4 hours every single day, it ain't gonna matter.
It won't matter. Honestly, and there's just, like I said before, there's some things you got to live through, not just hear somebody answer your question about. You got to figure it out. Like the script I got, it took me, I wrote that script from scratch for over years of just doing it wrong, shot after shot. That's me, right? And so there's some things you just got to live through, and your work ethic and discipline, that falls under your character. And that's your mindset. That's how you think, and that's how you go about doing anything. How you do one thing is how you do anything. And character is so important, man. And I want to say this. I don't watch enough to know who this was, but Byron, you probably know. I just saw a clip earlier. I forgot where I saw that. But it was a dude caught the ball. I think he run like a deep slant across the field, caught the ball, did a touchdown, and on the 1 yard line, he throw the ball, like spiked the ball, like to celebrate before he crosses the touchdown. And then the other team picks it up, take that thing back to the house.
It didn't happen to a few people, but I remember the guy on the Cowboys. I think his name may have been running line or something like that.
This was like this week.
Oh yeah, I saw it happen to the guy this week too. I saw it happen to him. He was like running like this right here or something like that. He just threw the ball down or something. I remember. But it happened to a couple of people though.
I've seen it happen, but I would think that's dog. Should nobody be making that mistake in 2023? That's beyond, like, that's an old school. Like, we've all seen it. So you're like, dang, that's crazy that happens. So we should never do that. But he did it. And so I just wanted to say, I was thinking this is exactly why your mind, your character is so important. He was way more focused, not disciplined. He was way more focused on his celebration, than securing the bag, and to making sure that he kept the top priority, kept the main thing. He didn't do that. And that was because his character. Now the coach couldn't teach him. There wasn't nothing better as far as running faster, being stronger. The locker room, lifting weights couldn't help him get better. That's all character that made him do that. There's no amount of running these drills. He ran his play perfectly. He caught the ball perfectly. Quarterback did it. Offensive lineman did it perfectly. It was his character. And so again, that's why we say it does not matter if you get all of those things perfect, but your character don't stay intact. Because let's even say you do get everything perfect and you start making money, you could fumble the bag. A lot of people do that. You get some money, they'll be like, oh, I'm making money. It's never going to stop. And then as soon as the wind blows a different direction, the season, dog, out of there because your character didn't say, let me think ahead. You know what I mean? So character and mindset about anything is paramount. It's ultimately paramount, man. But I want to give y'all the quote of the day.
Yeah, let's go and hit that, man.
Actually, and I remember this too. It was actually Abraham Lincoln who said this because Abraham Lincoln was known for cutting down trees anyway.
Yeah.
But give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. I can't remember how old I was when I first heard this, but I think I was young. But I thought like, wow, this is so profound. Like I remember even as a young, like I might have been like middle school or maybe like early high school. I was just like, man, that's crazy. But the whole point is you would think that you would just spend all your time chopping away at the tree. Honestly, you could do that. But if your tools, your instruments that you go into battle with are just as important as the battle, if not more important than the battle itself. But that ultimately that was Byron's 8 years creating his mindset, sharpening his mindset around his business. That was Byron's 8 years sharpening his mindset around his business. That was me spending, I spent a lot of time. I spent 2 years in New Hampshire just going at it. But just work on your mindset. Just work on your mindset and growing it and building it. And I mean, when you go into battle, it's going to cut through the tree like butter. Ultimately is what I'm saying. It's just like the point he was making is you spend more time sharpening the axe. That way the next 2 hours is easy. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
if you start hacking away at the tree with a dull axe,
yeah,
not ever cut the tree down.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. A lot of people's like, dang, how you did that quick? It's like, man, you weren't here when I was sharpening the axe. Took me 8 years to get that part right. But shoot, let's shout out a couple of these people, man. James, shout out, man. Shout out to Bobby Mack coming through. Nita, what's up? James, because you've been teaching you weren't scared of the extra work to reach your goals. Yeah, no doubt, man. These boys out here don't want to work. Wow.
And I know
James. What's up, James, man? That's what's up, man.
James be having deal after deal coming, man.
Oh man, he got to roll it, man. Hey, but shoot, man. We finna have to jump off this thing. I don't know if Cordero want to keep going or he said he out of here, man. Hey, but appreciate y'all coming through for sure, though, man. We finna jump off this line, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. We bet tomorrow. So come through, check us out, man. Till then, peace out.
Yes, sir.